Welcome back to Right on the Edge, and after I fix my camera here, there we go. After we fix my camera here, this is Everyone Should Know About This by Asmongold, where I've been told that he is talking about payment processors and the leeches, the leeches that they are. Now, let's hear him out.
Hi guys, it's me again, and today we're going to talk about the parasite that is payment processors.
Okay, good. I thought you were going to say me for a second there. I was like, oh, dang, you got me. You got me. I knew it was coming.
Primarily Visa and MasterCard, in between their very busy schedule of scamming random financially illiterate people into contracts with credit cards that have 30% interest, they've somehow also managed to fuck up the internet at the same.
Yeah, that's that's right. And because you have to have credit to almost exist in the world, unless you are like Asmongold and have an unbelievable amount of money, um, that you almost have to have credit to exist in the world, they get away with fucking you in the ass.
Time. So recently there's been a group called Collective Shout, which is, I know this might surprise you, a militant group of obnoxious Karens from, I believe, Australia, but let's be honest, it's going to be all over the world.
Yeah, Karens tend to gather together. You know, it might start in Australia, but don't worry, there'll be Karens here to join their cause and tell them how they're doing it wrong.
That have gotten together to bully and attack Visa and MasterCard into refusing service with Steam and pressuring Steam to remove certain games off of Steam.
I think that Visa MasterCard should be bound by so many laws that they can't do shit except for do what they do.
Because these games hurt their feelings. Oh no, it's an incest game. Oh no, it's a fucking not safe for work game. It's a
The only thing I'll say about this is why I don't play these games myself for obvious reasons because it's not my cup of tea, right? Let other people play their goddamn games. Who the fuck cares? You know what I mean?
porn game. Who gives a fuck? Who cares?
Exactly. Who gives
The
a
thing
fuck?
is that, and this is the big issue that I have, I'm very agitated about this because I see where this is going. It begins with the incest.
It begins with Steam. It begins with incest, and then it goes to whatever else they don't like. Whatever else they don't like. Oh, a parody game that says too many bad words. Well, boom, that one's out. Yeah, you know, it's always a one thing after another thing.
Games, and it ends with whatever the fuck they want. And so if anybody remembers back in the 2000s, if anybody 3,000
Right
years
here,
ago,
buddy. Yep.
whenever they were talking about how Grand Theft Auto
Yep, Grand Theft Auto is so bad it's gonna cause a wave of crime. It's so violent. Yeah, I was there, man. I remember the will and fire as well.
is causing school shootings and these video games are causing this stuff, what's to stop these disgusting fucking annoying Karens
Yep.
from being able to bully these processors into effectively not allowing us to play the video games that we want, not allowing us to consume the content that we want, and fundamentally at a very, very basic level, limiting our freedom of expression through effectively looking at the chain, finding the weakest link in the chain, and taking as much advantage of it as possible.
And you know that's what they're going to do. You know, they give a hand, they take an arm. You know, give a pinky, they take the hand. You know, that saying or any variation of it, that's exactly what these type of people do. It's undeniable.
Possible. And I want to say another thing. Collective Shout and every other Karen Incorporated group, every
Yeah.
other bullshit advocacy group that's trying to bully these payment processors, they are the symptom and they are not the disease.
I agree with that. Yeah, they are not the disease. They're the symptom of a disease. But that disease is the fact that people like in my opinion, right? I want to hear what he says, but this is what I'm going to say first. In my opinion, the reason why people like this exist are because we allow them to. We allow them to.
Because if you get rid of them, there's just going to be another one that replaces them that does the exact same fucking thing. The disease is the payment processors and the fact that they.
You know what? You know what? Once more, Asmongold, I think you're smarter than me. I was implying that the payment processors are bad, but I was thinking of like a cultural disease of like the fact that we allow Karens to dictate our life in general in every facet that they possibly can, and the only reason they get away with it is because we allow them to.
They can act effectively as a cartel. They have total autonomy to deny service to anybody for any reason if they think that it will affect their brand. Well, why don't we go ahead and think about this in any other utility or any other service? Imagine if you can't get electricity because, oh, well, you use that electricity to go on websites that people disagree with or they don't like. And I have no problem with them denying service to something that is illegal, by the way. I think that's totally okay.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that, but that's not what this is.
But whenever these people want to create their own moral legality and then use these payment processors as a pseudo government to enforce it as a pretty much monopoly across the entire.
Yeah, there's several examples of this happening, like PayPal's like contract changes where they're trying to charge you like X amount of dollars for, I forget what it was, like hate speech or something. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, why? Like, PayPal should just be a processor, and they should just shut the fuck up when it comes to everyday life.
Internet. That's not a free market. That's a fucking cartel.
Exactly. And the fact that these payment processors can bully Steam at all and force to take and threaten to take away their services is ridiculous.
And I think they need to be regulated. I definitely do. And I think that's 100%. The only way that this actually solves itself. Now, obviously, it's great if we had new payment processors come into the space. And I know that a lot of people talk about crypto as a solution to this. I understand that. I personally think that you need to have more regulations for financial stuff, but that's a different conversation. The one thing that I think we can all agree on is that the current situation is bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad that so many of our transactions online, like so many of our payments are handled through such a few amount of companies. Like PayPal is one of the number one like payment processors like on the internet. Facebook's like number 2 or something, but Visa and MasterCard are way up there.
And anyway, so the issue that we have right now is that these payment processors are able to effectively limit our freedom of speech, limit our freedom of expression, tell us what we're allowed to see and what we're not allowed to see on the internet by denying service and refusing to do business with these different companies. Now, you might think that this is freedom of association, and to a certain degree you'd be right, but the problem is
it is unless your company controls over 50% of the market, then it's not. Right? They're too big. They're too big.
That it's not a free market. If it was a free market, you would have some companies that would be willing to do it and some companies that would not. Yep. But the issue is because Visa and MasterCard control such a large market share of payment processing market, what that causes is it causes people to be forced effectively into using them as a service. And in the same way...
Yeah, that's true. And just so you're aware of like how bad I consider these companies to be, both Visa and MasterCard, is their numbers for last year was a 50% profit margin of billions of dollars with 50% profit margin. And in the scope of business, that's like crazy. That's crazy.
That you guys know this if you live in an area that only has maybe one power service, or you live in an area...
Yep, PUD runs like a mafia here. They're the only name in the game.
That only has one internet service. Oftentimes that service is either, there are two outcomes, guys. It's either regulated or it's garbage. And sometimes
it's both, and sometimes it's regulated garbage.
It's both. But I can guarantee you one thing, it's certainly not good. And the fact is that I understand some people might be against regulation, but I've got to tell you, okay, if you're sitting on the internet using your smartphone complaining about
regulation is necessary. Otherwise, we get crazy capitalism. And crazy capitalism is where essentially companies run the country instead of people. And we don't want that. That's how you end up with, like, the Outer Worlds and games like that.
You might as well just be a fish complaining about water. Everything is regulated. Your car is regulated, your phone is regulated, the battery in your phone is regulated, the data your phone receives is regulated. Everything in the world is regulated, but we're somehow supposed to think that, oh wow, these billion-dollar companies that, by the way, how the fuck does a credit card company make money? Oh, that's right, by scamming stupid people who don't understand math out of money, writing it off as a loss whenever they don't get the money back, and then being able to say that, oh, well, it's okay, we're not going to pay this off as a tax, because guess what, we didn't make any fucking money, because we're signing contracts with massive interest rates to people that are financially illiterate.
Yep, you're right.
illiterate. And so anyway, these companies exist as a parasite, okay? They are a parasite. They steal money from people. They are awful. And anyway, now we have a situation that they are affecting our freedom of speech on the internet. They are affecting our freedom of expression on the internet wholesale. And it's only going to get worse because once these disgusting, fat, annoying, fucking, just Karens go and they realize, oh, it works one time, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna just say, oh, well, that's it. Well, I heard The View got canceled today, so after this, they're gonna be fucking bored. So they're going to keep canceling and trying to bully these companies into doing even more things. And there's another not safe for work website. Oh, well, now there's another one. Oh, well, they shouldn't have to support porn. Yeah, they fucking should. The same as your internet provider should. The same as your electricity provider should. The same as your water provider should. Can you imagine if they decide to turn off your fucking water or
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't look at this in the scope of everything. They only look at it in the narrow scope of something they disagree with, but they don't rationalize it. Where like if any other company did the same thing, there would be riots. But because it's like a credit card company, people will treat it differently for some reason.
your electricity because you're going to a porn website that they don't like. It's ridiculous. And so I think that we need to have a degree of accountability here.
Definitely.
These companies enjoy a massive privilege in this market. They are effectively totally free to do whatever the fuck they want. And that is going to, unfortunately, negatively affect everybody else. And to be honest with you guys, how many of you know somebody who has credit card debt? It probably already has negatively affected people. And so anyway, my video, what I'm talking about right now, is that I think we need to spread more awareness to this. More people need to know about this, because if it doesn't stop here, it's going to keep going into politics. It's going to keep going into different...
I would imagine it already has, personally.
Worldviews. It's going to go into religious stuff. It's going to go into every single aspect that you can possibly imagine, because these companies are gun shy and they're afraid of any degree of pushback. So the best thing that you can do, by the way, is if there is ever an instance where people are trying to push for a payment processor to not do something, these companies are afraid of pushback and they're afraid of backlash. That's what they're fundamentally afraid of. So if you want to make it to where they don't do these things and they don't make these changes, you have to be louder than these screeching, banshee, harpy, siren Karens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a really loud person, but by making this video, I add my voice to yours, you know? I mean, I'm just watching you. I always pause on the most unfortunate face, dude. I'm so sorry, man. But I like your flag in the background. It's a nice flag.
That's what you have to do. You have to do that.
Yep.
And if...
Perfect. Yep, let's do it. Everybody take notes.
If you don't, they're going to be a lot louder than you are. And that's what's happened for the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's true.
And luckily, now, especially in the past 3 years, the majority of the internet has basically said, hoes mad, too bad, and we've decided to ignore them. However,
they're still there being mad. They haven't disappeared yet.
They have found, as I said, that one weak link, which is the payment processors. And again, they are awful, they're terrible, but they are a symptom and not the disease. We have to look at these payment processors, how much of a monopoly and everything that they control inside of any online transaction, inside of anything that you're doing in terms of money, and are they using that position in some way that is beneficial for everybody? Is this something that subverts people's expression, or is it something that hurts it? Well,
I think in a lot of cases they hurt it.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make this video, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it, because I feel like nobody else is saying anything. A lot of people might not understand this issue, or they might think, well, it's just a...
I mean, I agree with that, man. No, I agree. Not a lot of people are saying anything, but I also admittedly didn't know Steam was under attack like that. So, I mean, yeah, that's on me, right? Not keeping up with the stuff, but I'm not, like, criminally online yet. No offense to everybody that is. I'm just not yet. But I'm willing to call it out with you, because you're right. And every time that there's been an example of this, like the PayPal situation a few years ago, where they're trying to charge people like a fine for quote quote like hate speech or whatever it was of up to $2,500, I was like, well, man, you're overreaching, that's for sure. but let's continue.
Rape game or something like that. Here's where they should draw the line. Is it illegal?
Yeah.
If it's illegal, then yeah, of course they shouldn't give it service. If it is, then yes, they should absolutely have to. It should be the exact same as an electricity company,
Yeah, I
as a
agree.
phone company, as a internet company, as a water company, or anything else. The random debanking and removal of payment processing for certain people for certain ideological means is a massive problem, and it helps no one. And so, anyway, except for them, obviously, because it gives them the power to censor things and effectively tell people what they're allowed to see on the internet, and effectively subvert the will of the people by acting as a pseudo government because they're able to control this very small link in the pipe.
It's not a very small link. I mean, I know what you're trying to say here, but it's a massive link. Like, what is it? Probably it used to be like in the high 90s, probably like what 75% of the market that was still controlled by them. That's a massive link.
Pipeline. And so, anyway, that's why I'm talking to you guys about this. I want everybody to be aware of this. I want people to see it, and I want you to be vigilant. And I can guarantee you, this is the worst thing. I can guarantee you that it's going to get worse. Because people, I don't think that there is enough awareness about this yet. I don't think that there's enough people talking about this. And I don't think people really understand this issue because there are still people who are afraid to speak out about it
Yeah.
because they don't want to be seen as defending incest games. I have no problem defending incest games. I think that's totally fine.
I won't defend incest games, but I'll defend people's rights to play them. It's their right to play them. It's a fake game in a fictional reality. Who the fuck cares? At the end of the day, who the fuck cares? That's all I'll say about that.
You want to play a fucking anime incest game on Steam? Go ahead. That's okay. Nobody's getting hurt because guess what? It's not real.
It's
Imagine
not
that.
real,
A
yep.
video game doesn't hurt real people and it doesn't actually exist. So why is
Yeah,
it that it's
yeah.
being regulated and why is it that people are being told what they can and can't see, especially through this third
Well, they can and
party
can't
that shouldn't even
experience
be
it as
making these
well.
decisions to begin with?
So, on that note, I'll leave it right there. This is Everyone Should Know About This by Asmongold TV, and he is, man, like usual, man, he's correct. He has good takes about stuff like this. What do I have to add about this? It's like, this has been happening for a long time. I think Asmongold only realizes it right now because it's affecting what he's doing right now. And that's fine, right? Like, in the same way I didn't know Steam was being attacked by these processors, I'm sure he didn't know about the PayPal controversy, or if he did, he just, chose not to cover it at the time, or whatever reason it was. It didn't affect him directly. And he's clearly passionate about this industry. Like, he's been playing games for years. He's been streaming for years. It affects everything he does. And he knows that if this goes through, the next thing will be like, well, I just don't think people should be watching Asmongold. Blah, blah, blah. Like, Asmongold, not very good for society. And then they try to block him, too. Obviously, like, even making this video, they would try to block him. But, he has a lot of money now, so they can't control what he says as good as they might have at one time. Well, that being said, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and tell me what you think I should react to next time. Especially like and subscribed. I mean, I need those.